It's a video about women's skin bleaching. This is this area is in Africa, so I'm gonna do another one also about China. But yeah, here we go.
Most parts of Africa, when the conversation turns to beauty, you'll often hear the phrase light skin. Sometimes whispered, sometimes proudly declared, sometimes followed by a group of men nodding like they've just discovered a new scientific law. But now, something interesting is happening.
So we're going inside the shop right now. The brigadier is looking for someone selling the illegal skin whitening products.
I'm Brigadier Motar, the station commander. These products are banned.
It's illegal to sell any cream that claims to bleach or lighten your skin.
It's like she wasn't aware that she's not supposed to be selling this in the shop. We've just confiscated few, I think 6 or 7 of these skin lightening creams.
Across Africa, governments are beginning to push back. Some countries are no longer treating skin bleaching as just a beauty trend. They are treating it as a public health crisis. And in some cases, they are banning it entirely.
Soap seller Alaji Traore mixes together skin lightening soaps that come from Ivory Coast, Mali, and Ghana.
One of the most aggressive crackdowns comes from Rwanda.
Agnes Awemana is preparing an ointment she says will make her more attractive to her husband.
That low self-esteem is a $1 trillion industry. Look at that woman. Look at her hair. She completely destroyed her hair, and she's trying to look like a white woman. So you know, you're in a low state for you to hate yourself to want, and then you're trying to transform yourself to like a white woman. I know they'll say light skin, but at the end of the day, they try to look like a white woman. That's the whole point. You'll see some in the video that's wearing blonde wigs, and that's just typical. I don't want to just throw it on black women. It's not black women because you got the Mexicans, the Asians do it too. So, but you know, like I said, you have to be in you are in a low state of mind for you to want to transform yourself to look like a completely, totally different another person. So sad, but you know, this happens all the time. Low self-esteem, like I keep telling you guys.
Who prefers light-skinned women. But she's concerned that a government crackdown on the creams will impact both on her beauty routine and her identity.
If I don't have these products, I'm afraid I'll become too dark, like I used to be. I still have a few products left, but I hate the thought.
You heard what she said? If she don't have the products, then she'll end up going back to being dark. I told you guys, whether you notice or not, bleaching cream, ours is not natural, right? Whatever color you are, that's just the color you're supposed to be. But whenever you're doing something like using bleaching creams, you have to continue to use it. So this is say right now, you start using bleaching cream. By Monday, you do that for a week straight, and all of a sudden you straight up white. You have to keep using the bleaching cream, because if not, the melanin will come back. So that's stuff they don't tell y'all. So I'm pretty sure a lot of them females know that. They just don't. I mean, they're not going to tell you. They don't care. They worried about themselves or whatever. You know, females, they always in a competition with each other. But no, if you thinking about doing that, you're going to have to keep doing that, because it's going to come back. Your melanin will come back. Now, it's different between you having a suntan compared to you being, you know, if you have dark melanin. So that's naturally, that's in your DNA. That's how you was born. But if you have like suntan or sunburn, you know, something like that, like I do, you can get rid of that. But as far as the melanin you have, you got to keep using that bleaching cream to keep the melanin away. So unless you got, I mean, I know it's not expensive, but if you're doing something like that every day, you constantly buying that cream, yeah, it adds up. But yeah, just want to give you that little bit of information.
Of becoming darker.
The government introduced a ban on skin whitening products in November, and since then, they've seized thousands of bottles from shop shelves.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix that. I'm just trying to knock out these little videos I do have, so don't mind little commercials.
If you know anything about Rwanda's government, you know that they don't usually do things halfway, and they don't mess around. Things like plastic bags banned, strict city cleanliness rules enforced, and now skin bleaching products also banned. Authorities blacklisted over 1,000 cosmetic products containing chemicals like hydroquinone and mercury. These substances are commonly used in skin lightening creams, and they can cause serious health issues and problems. We're talking kidney damage, severe skin disorders, permanent discoloration, in some cases, even increased cancer risk. So the government stepped in.
We are now putting much efforts, like educating people, going around and seizing those illegal products.
Officials began confiscating products, inspecting shops, and warning retailers. Basically telling the beauty industry, if your creams melt people's skin, maybe you shouldn't be selling it. Which, when you think about it, is fairly a reasonable policy.
But unregulated versions are easily available to buy illegally on the internet. This could become dangerous for people like Awamana, who are not ready to give up the notion that lighter skin is more beautiful.
Rwanda isn't the only country in Africa taking this action. Ghana also introduced restrictions.
We're in Accra market, and you can see there's a lot of these bleaching products being displayed. If you look at Cara White, she is actually super white.
The government banned importation of products containing hydroquinone, one of the most common bleaching chemicals. This means certain skin lightening products simply can no longer legally enter the country. But banning doesn't always mean eliminating them, because where there's demand, supply always has a way of sneaking in, sometimes through informal markets, sometimes through online stores, sometimes through DIY, sometimes through that one shop that suddenly became very quiet when inspectors walk in.
When I was 23, I stood in front of my local cosmetic counter. This was the first time I had my first bleaching cream encounter.
I know this is off topic, but I like those animated videos like this. The little kid drawings and stuff like that, the voiceover. So that reminds me, if anybody, I think they still have it. I don't know, but if you old enough, you know about CBS. You know, you had them shows like Hey Arnold. I know Sesame Street is still up and running, but all them shows like on CBS, it reminds me of that. So it's just a flashback. So don't mind me though.
Will this work? I asked the Asian assistant.
In Cote d'Ivoire, also known as Ivory Coast, the government also banned several skin whitening products.
I've been using these products since my son was 1. I mix this with this soap, and then I put these 2 tubes inside to change the tints. To clean their skin, everyone wants their child to be pretty. For the child to have a beautiful complexion.
I caught that, right? She said everyone wants their child to be pretty. So if that's the case, why are you skin bleaching and you're not skin bleaching your kid? I mean, I hope she don't do that, but, and then again, she said the kid like is probably 3, maybe 4. So that's a lot of skin bleaching and you're not really getting a huge, I would assume like within I guess by the second year, you'd be ice white, but the fact you've been using that for 3 years automatically, the kid like probably 5, and you look like that, it's like, how much longer you gotta go? You know what I mean? So obviously they're using the cheapest, I guess I don't know, like I said, the lower level or something. I know if you go to other countries, they have more advanced procedures to speed up that process. So the fact that she's been doing that for years and she looked like that, it's like, yeah, she must have got the I guess the level 1 version. She been if you gonna skin bleach, get it. You know what I mean? Like I expect it within I know not the first year, but I would assume by the second year you'd be all right where you need to be. But it's going on 4 or 5 years, and I guess you got to do another 4 or 5 years. But me personally, just get in shape. You know what I mean? I was just to give her advice as far as just getting in shape. You get in shape. But anyway,
You can't have clean skin and for your child to still be dirty.
Health officials warned that bleaching creams were causing serious skin damage among users. Doctors were reporting increased cases of skin thinning, severe irritation, permanent patches, and discoloration. Basically the opposite of what the advertisements promised. Because many...
And you gotta keep in mind too, you know, it's, if you guys remember, you know about this, it's a thing that's called false advertising. So you gotta keep in mind these photos they putting up on these models they're using on these products. It ain't nothing to get on a software and then just edit that. That's what they do anyway. That not just with the skin cream stuff, but I mean, you look at a lot of the models you see on magazines, stuff like that. A lot of this stuff is edited photos, so they just doing the same thing on these bottles. Exhibit A with the lady that was interviewing with her son. She said she been doing that since she been doing that for 3 years automatically, and she got a little lighter. But it's like, for you doing all that for that amount of time, you know what I mean? They just put the and that's the thing too, because I mean, they only can put so much. If anything, it'll just burn the shit out you. But you got to go off the brands, because certain, well, you got to just read the ingredients. But a lot of these companies, to keep you on the hook, right? Because they don't want to be a wham bam thinking, man. They want, okay, just do this for 3 days and you're good. No. They want you to use that product forever. So what they're gonna do, the main chemicals that's gonna remove your melanin, they're gonna put a little bit in there, just enough to make you believe like it's working. But in reality, like the lady in this interview, she been doing that for years, and look how she's just a little lighter. But it's like, bro, I thought you'd be ghost white, but that's what they do to keep you on the hook. So they're gonna just put a little bit of that main ingredient in their product, and then of course they keep buying. That's what they want. So I mean, they can get you right in a short amount of time, but that means they're gonna lose a customer. But like I told you guys before, you know, if you get to that level to where you want to be super light, you got to keep using the product. So at the end of the day, it's like, you still got to keep using the product, but the manufacturer, they're not thinking like that. Like, oh, this give them a little bit and make them believe it's really working. That way they're going to keep using the product forever. But in reality, it's like, even if they achieve their goal, they still have to use the product to keep the melanin away. So it's just, but at the end of the day, you know, them being cheap and making more money, they're going to put a little bit of the main ingredient in there. And then they're just going to just, you know what I mean? They got you on the hook for life. That's how they look at it, because they know you got low self-esteem. But instead of them just putting, you know, just boosting the product a little bit more, and then you get the results sooner, but they worried about you getting to their goal, and then you stop being a customer. In reality, it's like they got to keep using the product. So this is how it is, though. So
bleaching creams promise perfect skin, but what some users actually end up with is a dermatologist appointment.
It's the husbands who push women to do that. It's not the women who love the product.
I'm going to say this. Keeping it real. If your husband talking about you want a light-skinned chick, don't be a light-skinned chick. Just get you a new husband. I mean, if I'm lying, I'm dying. But I'm just keeping it a buck. Listen, you got a husband talking about you want a light-skinned chick, don't become a light-skinned chick. Just get you a new husband. That's all there is to it. All them people in Africa. But, you know, a lot of them be lying. You know how they go, oh, my husband, nah. And they don't even be married, you know what I mean? But, you know, whatever. But at the end of the day, if it's like that, just get you another husband.
They are forced into it.
Interestingly, South Africa took action much earlier than many people realize.
I'm joining Brigadier Delasaway.
She looked, I mean, I know because, you know, they got dropped off there, but she got that Jamaican look to her, even though they are Africans too, but she got that Jamaican look to her, so.
Mota, head of the police in Witbank, close to Johannesburg. She and her team are about to raid 5 premises. She's not looking for drugs or guns, but beauty products.
So we're going inside the shop right now. The Brigadier is looking for someone selling the illegal skin whitening products.
I'm Brigadier Mota, the station commander. These products are banned.
It's illegal to sell any cream that claims to bleach or lighten your skin.
It's like she wasn't aware that she's not supposed to be selling this in
Hold
the
up,
shop.
man. This video got repeated or something? Let me. They get repeated. I don't know what happened there, folks, but this, here we go.
Based skin lightening products.
No, I wasn't tripping.
This decision came after medical research highlighted the risks associated with long-term use.
Look at that
But
daughter.
even with regulations in place,
Hold up,
the
man,
demand for lighter skin has never fully disappeared.
Hold up, man. Let me. I gotta address that. Look at that little, let me see if I can get the video on.
But even
Give me a sec, guys. I have to address this.
Based skin lightening products. This decision came after medical research.
Look at that little pretty girl. And look at her mama. Already poisoned her daughter, so her daughter automatically, self-consciously is thinking that I'm not pretty because I'm not light-skinned. You see the stuff that they be putting their kids through? So it's sad, but yeah, she's smiling, but self-consciously she, whether she believes that she's not pretty because she's not light-skinned like her mama. Even though her mom is not really light-skinned, she just did all that cosmetic stuff to her. But that's what they do to their little girls. They destroy them before they even get a chance. So
highlighted the risks associated with long-term use. But even with regulations in place, the demand for lighter skin has never fully disappeared, and I don't think it ever will. Because the issue goes deeper than cosmetics. It touches something more complicated. Beauty standards, social perception, and yes, dating preferences.
I use different products on my skin, and which makes it to look like this.
Now, let's address the elephant in the room. In many African societies, lighter skin has historically been associated with beauty. And like it or not, many African men openly say they prefer light-skinned women. Sometimes jokingly, sometimes seriously. Sometimes with the confidence of a man who believes his opinion represents the entire continent. Of course, not everyone agrees, and the preferences are changing. But for decades, those beauty standards help fuel the skin lightening market. Because if society tells you that lighter skin equals beauty, some people will try to get there by any means necessary, even if it involves questionable creams sold in small plastic containers with labels like Ultra Perfect Gold Supreme Plus, which sounds very suspicious.
The crazy part about this, they putting their health on the line, which, that's the average female when they come down to some kind of cosmetic altercation. But, not all of them's going to achieve it because it's just a phase they're going through. Some will, but most won't. Especially, they got to keep buying. Because a lot of them won't give up because they're not seeing the results they want. They want the quick results. They want that to happen over the weekend. But as months go by and they don't really notice much, a lot of them just drop off the rat race. And then on top of that, it's not free. They got to pay for it. So I can just use my money for something else. So a lot of them will fall off just because they want the quick fix and they won't get it. Now you got some who's just dead set to make it happen. But that's, that will happen, but majority of them is going to fall off just because of that. Cause, it's not a quick fix and, they constantly got to spend money on that stuff all the time. But, the ones who do achieve that goal, it's not like they're going to win $1 million. They'll still be in the same position they in. They'll just have that light skin. But, as far as attention, yeah, you'll get that. But, other than that, it's not like they're going to just, just hit the bank if they hit their goal. It's just, oh, look at me, I'm light skinned. It's okay, you still, not saying all of them poor, but, if you're poor, you're still going to be poor. If you got money, it's just nothing really going to change except you just get, more attention. Women, they get attention no matter what, especially if you're in shape. But that's the sad part about it. It's like, it's not going to just change your life, in any kind of way. So.
Other African countries have also taken regulatory steps. In Kenya, Products containing mercury and certain bleaching chemicals are illegal. Authorities periodically seize shipments and warn customers about the dangers. Meanwhile, in Tanzania, regulators also restrict harmful skin lightening ingredients.
I used to use beauty products containing hydroquinone, and it badly affected my skin because I developed patches on the face. I went to the doctor and I was advised to stop using it and instead use aloe vera.
But once again, the challenge isn't just banning the product, it's changing the demand.
Oh, what did I tell you?
Because
let me back that up. I know you've seen two wig walkers. So
just banning the product, it's changing the demand.
See the one right there? I don't know if you can see my cursor, but you got the one right here on the left. Then you got the one right here. So she already didn't reach their goal. And of course, they got that blonde wig that's proof that they want to be a white woman. So I don't know, man. Like low self-esteem is crazy, but I mean, I don't know, people got some kind of insecurities, but I don't know about no low self-esteem, man. That's a bad taste in my mouth. But there you go right there. So, you know. And the woman gonna look at her crazy while she see the woman on the right.
Skin bleaching is
look at you, the older lady. She like, what the hell?
It's a massive global business.
She like, that's some witchcraft right there. The old lady, she was like, get away from me. But, you know, whatever.
The global skin lightening market.
But see, would have helped her if she just would have lost weight. If she was lost weight, I tell people all the time, if you know, especially in America, if you not saying you got to be, I keep saying bodybuilder, that's an extreme example, but you know, if you just in shape, you know, you got a six pack, you know, you just in shape, you're slim, you're always gonna be winning. That's just what it is. So, because the average American is obese, not even out of shape, is obese, and then especially if you go to other countries, you know, a lot of countries are becoming like America too, as far as they poor health standards. Not all, but you do have other countries outside of America that also have poor health standards. But yeah, man, like somebody like her, if she just would have lost weight, she'll been in the game. But of course, they're not thinking like that. They think, oh, I'll just change this, and not the main thing is their health. They never think about their health. They'll go get all these surgeries and operations. They'll skin they bleach, they'll put a wig on, but they'll never do what's important, and it's, you know, fix their health. So like I said, if she just would have lost weight, got herself in shape, she would have been winning, because you see the area she in, a lot of people are out of shape. So, but they don't think like that. So
it's worth billions of dollars.
Because she want to be a white woman. So
major beauty companies have spent decades marketing
the
the
white
idea
woman
that lighter skin equals success. Advertisements promoting
blonde
brighter,
wig,
fairer, clearer skin. Sometimes indirectly, sometimes very directly. And those messages travel across continents, including Africa. So today, Africa finds itself in an interesting moment. On one side, the governments are banning dangerous chemicals, regulating cosmetics, trying to protect public health. But on the other side, social pressure still exists. Beauty standards are slowly evolving, and the global beauty industry is still selling the dream of lighter skin, which means the real battle against skin bleaching may not be happening in government offices. It may be happening somewhere else entirely, and that is in people's minds. Because banning a cream is easy, changing cultural belief is much harder. And the question Africa now faces: will skin bleaching slowly disappear as governments crack down, or will it simply move underground, quietly surviving in markets, salons, online stores, and DIYs? But one thing is for certain: the conversation around beauty in Africa is certainly changing. And for the first time in a long time, some governments are stepping in and saying, maybe the problem isn't dark skin. Maybe the problem was the idea that it needed to be changed in the first place. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. My name is Kix Lion, and yeah, please, if you like the video, consider subscribing, like it, leave a comment, and yeah, share with your friends. I'll see you on the next video.
Yeah, my man, he didn't drop the nice documentary. Of course, you already know what I'm do. Leave his link down below. I understand the whole thing about want to feel pretty and want to be desired and stuff like that, but it comes down to, okay, like when you start to alter yourself to look like a totally different person, that's just self-hate. That's all it is. And of course, you got self-hate, you got low self-esteem. That just, it's like peanut butter and jelly. You can have the peanut butter or the jelly, but we all know it's meant for you to have both. I don't know. It's just a wave. I mean, a thing right now. I know in India, they own it too. It's pretty much, it's always, because they always trying to pursue to be a white person. So, that's in any non-white country, obviously. But, in some, they don't care about that crap. But, sad to say, Africa, and you got India, you got Mexico, you got China, shit, Japan, they all trying to follow suit. So, on this quest to be a white person, that's what they on right now. So, I hope at some point that this whole obsession goes away. But I look at it like it's probably just some type of temporary lust, if I can use that word. But I know some countries they just hell bent on they want to be a white person, so they gonna keep doing it. They pass it on to their kids, and it is what it is. But I don't feel bad for these people. It's just that's what happens when you got low self-esteem, self-hate. But I understand women like to be, they want to feel, they want to be pretty, but that's not being pretty. You altering your body to look like a white woman, and you clearly not a white woman. You'll never be a white woman. So I don't have pity for them. It's just sad. But hopefully, I mean, as you see right now in the video, they taking action, which is great. And then at some point they're gonna make it to where it's just if they catch you with it, you're gonna get locked up. I mean, it'll probably be like a ticket, but they won't just go to the stream right off the bat. I mean, they cracking down on the vendors. But as far as the people who actually buy these products, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a ticket, or it'll be a warning, and then the next one will be a ticket, and then the next one be you going to jail. So they'll get to that point to where they catch you with it, you're gonna get locked up, and that's when you'll start to see a lot of them just leave it alone. They like, well, I don't want to get in trouble for using it, so they'll just leave it alone. At that point, you just gotta just keep enforcing it. That's all it is to it. So you just can't punish the vendors, what they're doing right now. They gotta punish the vendor and the customer. So once they draw their attention to the customers, that's when you'll start seeing that like really go away. You have some renegades, but as a whole, the women, they'll just stop messing with it because they don't want to deal with all that getting in trouble and stuff like that. So as far as other countries, I don't know about all that. They gonna keep going. But yeah, I mean, it was a great video, man. Sad that it's happening, but it's real. It's real out there in the field, man. Just learn to love yourself, and at the end of the day, you just strive to be a better person each day. You'll get to where you want to be. But I mean, you don't ever try to transform yourself to be another person, like physically like that. You know what I mean? If you Jamaican, don't try to look like nobody from Russia. If you from Russia, don't try to look like somebody from Japan. Like, just be proud of your culture and who you are. The best thing you do is educate yourself and stay in shape, get in shape and stay in shape. That's pretty much about it, man. At the end of the day, it's like no one's gonna respect you if you're, if you have low self-esteem or you're being fake. So you gotta be true to yourself, man. But at the end of the day, you just gotta love yourself, man. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, let me know down below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Donate something to the Cash App if you can. And no matter what, helps take your peace, your pockets, and your purpose.